Good morning. The transfer bomber, David Ornstein, reported that is Manuel Ugarte to Manchester United off? Is it really? Manchester United walking away from the 16 million deal. But hang on a second. There was also talks about loan with an obligation or non-obligation to buy. Let's talk about this full story, cool and composed. This is not live. This is a recording. And we will try to round things up in 10 minutes for your morning coffee. But you know what to do. If you're new, like and subscribe. And let's do this. Here we go.
Has the Premier League ever been more challenging?
Right, welkom. I feel welcome. Dit is mijn home. And I want to achieve success. Okay?
Okay, people. Good morning to you. This day of recording, Tuesday, the 6th of August. And of course, we're edging closer to the premiere of Premier League against Fulham. Of course, on the weekend, we're playing Manchester City in the Community Shields. And a lot of people are thinking, what is going on with Ineos? What is going on? Are they setting up Erik ten Hag for failure? No, they're not, basically. We know that we are trying to sell to buy, and we know that we are waiting for Aaron Wan-Bissaka to leave and Scott McTominay and many other players, including Ugarte, which has been identified as the key central defender in that midfield. And there's been numerous talks. We know that PSG has been demanding silly money for it. There's a player that absolutely handed in a request. It's an angry player that don't want to play for him because Luis Enrique doesn't want to play him either. They bought him for 1 year ago, and this is the full story. And they are now trying to recuperate what they bought him for, 60 million, right? Euros we're talking about. A player that you bought 1 year ago and you want the same money is not what Manchester United are willing to pay. And hence they have been negotiating for this for a very long time. Now, according to the bomber Fabrizio Romano, it's been spot on. This transfer window is currently saying that exclusive Man United switch midfielder search away from Manuel Ugarte into other options. Manchester United don't intend to meet the 60 million fee plus, will only revisit if PSG price drops. No progress yet, talks cooled, plus exploring other top targets. Right deal. This is according to David Ornstein. I want to stick to this particular story. Like, you know, let's like dive into it cool and composed, right? And put our thinking hats on, right? We know the United has been talking to Ugarte for past 9 months. We know the personal terms has been agreed. We know that the player has handed in a transfer request. And we also know the PSG has been spending a lot. They just got João Neves over the line. They got a centre-back over the line, and they need money. But to ask 60 million, this has been astute negotiation to say, well, we're willing to let him go. Pressure from the players' camp to say, well, loan with an obligation to buy or an option to buy, but simply not 60 million. This is not part of the players' evaluation. And the people involved in this deal is astute. We're talking about Jean-Claude Blanc, the ex-PSG president as well. We're talking about Dan Ashworth is involved. We're talking about Omar Berrada as well. And one thing that United are not doing, as what we've seen in this window, is to overpay. So let's look at this line. They're not willing to meet the 60 million. We'll only revisit if PSG drops the price. No progress as of yet. Cool, and exploring other top targets for the right deal. It does not really say, people. It does not really say that the deal is off. For me, of course, you will give the story to Fabrizio Romano or David Ornstein that has the most credible storylines out there to spread this story. I think this is fed from Manchester United to The Athletic to David Ornstein to say, listen, we are moving away. We are going for other targets to put pressure for PSG to lower down the price. As far as we're concerned, there was 3 options available for Ugarte, but this is how we need to move now. Either PSG accepts this or Manchester United saying, look, screw you guys, you know, the bid's there on the table, take it or leave it. We have other targets and we will go for Zubamendi, or we even have an Sofian Amrabat waiting to come in. But is there enough? Is there enough? There is even Youssouf Fofana, but Youssouf Fofana is not that type of profile, the number 6. Now, instantly we are being linked straight away to X, Y, and Z. Everyone that is a number 6, lazy. Zubamendi has always been the number 2 target. But Zubamendi, according to me, if Man United doesn't want to pay 60 million, Zubamendi's release clause is the same, 60 million. Have they been negotiating with Zubamendi's camp to lower down that fee? 60 million euros is equal to 50 million pounds approximately. So there's a big question to be asked. So for me, the most exciting thing, and I think that Manchester United will win at the end of the day, is to get him on a loan with an obligation to buy or an option to buy. This has always been on the cards, or use him with a swap deal with Jadon Sancho. But it does look like Jadon Sancho has a plan. It looks like Ten Hag has a plan for Jadon Sancho to play as false number 9 in the opening Premier League games. But remember, the transfer window is still 4 weeks old. Not old, but still 4 weeks left as of today. So I want to hear from your thoughts and feelings. For me, this sounds like a brief to David Ornstein from the club to say we are frustrated, players frustrated, and PSG's being kind of a little bit of a dickheads to say, well, we want 60 million what we bought him for. But if you buy a car and 1 year later you're not happy with the car, you're not going to be able to sell the car for the same price. It's ridiculous. So this is a message, according to my humble opinion, the United are sending out, leaking out the story for PSG to force the hand. Why? Because as explained, the player is angry. He's already forced his move out to say, I don't want to play. Does PSG want to keep an angry player and not play him at all, sitting on the bench? That's even more expensive. So I think that this is advantage Manchester United. I don't think they particularly walked away, but putting more pressure by utilizing David Ornstein and tier 1 journalists to say that we are walking away. Hence, we're cooling off. It's similar like you going for a dating, right? In the beginning, right? You're not getting what you want. You're pursuing the man or the girl that you want. And all of a sudden, you pull back a bit to cool off your interest. And all of a sudden, the other person, reverse psychology, will start chasing you. This is the way I think. So in other ways, Zubamendi is hot, number 2 on the target. And Zubamendi is, for me, the much, much better player in terms of ball progression. But, however, Ugarte is still the number 1 target because of the destroyer, CDM, pure CDM. But Ugarte as a ball distributor, not so good. But no wonder also we are now also linked to Frankie de Jong, a saga that don't want to go away. You know, he was paid handsomely in salaries because of the deferred wages. So his salary all of a sudden became 250 plus whatever he was owned. So is that a deal that Manchester United can also pull? There's some numerous reports saying that Ten Hag hasn't really cooled off his interest in De Jong. So we will see. You know, they can get De Jong for 45 million euros with the cheaper wages. I think they will go for it. Like, there's a quick deal to be made because Barcelona are desperate to get rid of him, to be honest. So anyway, I want to know your thoughts and feelings. I'm going to try to round things down in less than 10 minutes as your morning brew coffee. We see if we go live later on, but let me know in your opinions what you think. Is this a play for the gallery? Is Manchester United using David Ornstein and tier 1 journalists to say that we are cooling off and looking at other targets? We've done that before, so it wouldn't surprise that we're doing it again. But I certainly believe that Ugarte is still on the list. And I think that at the end of the day, he might come in at the end of the window, but it's not going to be at the speed that we want for the Community Shield or potentially for the opening of the Premier League against Fulham. But one to look after is, of course, the players that needs to go. That is the main priority of Manchester United at the moment. Get Scott McTominay to Fulham. Get Aaron Wan-Bissaka to West Ham. Get Lindelof to Fenerbahce. Get so many players out. There's 4 weeks left, and this is going to be very, very interesting. Again, kind of a little bit of a blow, but I kind of dissected, putting my logical hat on to say that I think this is a play for the gallery, PR, to actually force PSG's hand. Advantage Manchester United, or like that song, I'm walking away from troubles in my mind. Anyway, this has been Mick Ruby on this recording. I hope you have a lovely day. I had my say, and hopefully I made you more of a sensible day. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and we shall be back as soon as we have something new. And that's about it for this morning video. Take it easy, peace, love, and go bananas. Ciao.
Thank you so much for stopping by and watching MUFC Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.
Zubamendi or Ugarte, or even Sofia Amrabat to come in there to play with Collier. What do you think? Leave your comments in the